Following the change in political equation, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has won the vote of confidence at the lower house yet again, securing 172 votes of the 262 lawmakers that voted. With this, Premier Dahal has won the floor test for the second time within 3 months. Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal secures the vote of confidence at the House of Representatives yet again. 172 of the 262 votes in favour, 89 votes against. Import crosses 1.9 trillion rupees amid industries collapsing. Exports limited to 200 billion rupees. No improvement in garment sector despite receiving zero tariff treatment. Chinese President Xi Jinping meets his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin, seeking both to deepen economic ties with an ally he sees as a useful counterweight to the West. And Machindra Club thumps India's Kanchenjunga Club 5-2 to reach the semi-finals of Itahari Gold Cup. Friends Club advances into Tilotama Gold Cup semis, defeating APF. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has secured the vote of confidence for the second time in less than 3 months. The first time the Premier took the floor test was on 10th of January. The Premier had to take the vote of confidence once again, following the exit of CPNUML and Rashtra Prajatantra Party from the government. Of the 262 lawmakers present during the House session today, 172 voted in favour of Dahal, 89 voted against, while 1 abstained from voting. 11 parties, including Nepali Congress, Rashtra Swatantra Party, Janata Samajwadi, Unified Socialist and his own party Maoist Centre had given their confidence to Premier Dahal. CPNUML and Rashtra Prajatantra Party stood against the Premier, while Mazdoor Kishan Party abstained. On 10th of January, during his first vote of confidence, Dahal had garnered confidence of almost all of the lawmakers. Prior to the floor test, Premier Dahal had called for support from all parties and the parliament, saying that he sought for a national consensus and that his leadership intended to conclude the long-awaited peace process. He also went on to say that the equation of the ruling alliance had changed due to CPNUML chair KP Sharma Oli. Dahal also disclosed that he did not ask to be the Prime Minister. Instead, it was proposed by CPNUML itself. He added that lack of agreement regarding the coalition's agenda was the reason for the parties going separate ways. Dahal said it was because of Oli that the equation of national politics had degraded when CPNUML was at the helm of the government. Stating their opinions on the proposal of Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal seeking the vote of confidence at the lower house, lawmakers have said that issues of national interest had to be concluded through consensus. Meanwhile, lawmakers of main opposition CPNUML said that history would find the reasons for Prime Minister Dahal breaking the previous alliance. Supporting Prime Minister Dahal's proposal for the vote of confidence, Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Dewa said that all parties had to unite for issues of significance. Saying that the existing electoral mechanism did not allow for a singular majority at the lower house, Dewa added that the nation should be ensured stability through alliance and the topic of transitional justice had to be concluded through consensus. CPNUML, meanwhile, which stood against the proposal of Prime Minister Dahal, demanded reasons for him stepping back from the December 25 Balkot agreement. Addressing the Parliament session today, CPN Maoist Centre lawmaker Devendra Paudel said that CPNUML did not accept Prime Minister Dahal's proposal for agreement. He further added that all the parties had to work together to address issues ranging from transitional justice to economic problems. Rashtra Swatantra Party, which also extended the vote to Prime Minister Dahal, demanded developing the House as a platform for delving into development of policies. Rashtra Prajatantra Party, meanwhile, which also quit the government and withdrew its support alongside CPNUML, alleged Prime Minister Dahal of foul play. Janata Samajwadi Party urged Prime Minister Dahal to implement commitments, while CPN Unified Socialist Chair Madhav Kumar Nepal said that a situation to seek the vote of confidence again would not arrive and stressed on sustaining the newly formed alliance for the period of 5 years. At the session, Janamad Party Chair Chandrakanta Rao said that vote of confidence should not be withdrawn on minor disagreements. Lawmaker of Loktantrik Samajwadi Party Sharad Singh Bhandari suggested for the implementation of agreements reached after the Madhesh agitation. Chairperson of Rashtra Jana Morcha Chitra Bahadur Keshi questioned if the poise to form and topple governments protected democracy. Keshi previously was in the opposition but now has extended the trust vote to the government. In the meantime, CPNU-ML Chair KP Sharma Oli has said Prime Minister Dahal could not be trusted. Speaking at the parliamentary party meeting, Oli said Prime Minister Dahal could not be entrusted with the responsibility of the nation and its development.
राष्ट्रियताको दृष्टिकोणबाट प्रधानमन्त्रीजी विश्वास गर्न लायक हुनुहुन्छ। विकासको दृष्टिबाट विश्वास गर्न लायक हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूको गठबन्धनले 1.5 वर्षमा अर्थतन्त्रलाई जसरी ध्वस्त बनायो, ओह्रालो लगायो, विकासका सारा सूचकाङ्क ती सबै जसरी ध्वस्त बनायो, त्यस ठाउँमा उहाँले प्रधानमन्त्रीको हैसियतमा साँच्चै देशलाई सही ढङ्गले नेतृत्व दिनु होला, सही भिजन दिनु होला, सही ढङ्गले अगाडि बढाउनु होला भनेर विश्वास गर्न सकिने ठाउँ छैन।
Oli addressed the parliamentary party session for half an hour, most of which was spent criticizing Prime Minister Dahal. Now, in our Public Voice segment, today we've asked across all provinces what their suggestion is for the Prime Minister who has spent almost 3 months dilly-dallying. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
अब सबै मन्त्री आफ्नै थाप्लोमा बोकिरहेर अलिकति देशमा अलि गाह्रो भइरहेछ।
कि राष्ट्रिय सहमति भन्नुहुन्छ, राष्ट्रिय सहमतिलाई पनि कायम गरेर सरकारलाई नियन्त्रण विकासको तर्फ लैजानुपर्छ।
नेपालको अर्थतन्त्र मजबुत बनाउनुपर्छ, त्यसैले पुग्छ।
बेरोजगारी महिलाहरूले पनि सुलभ रूपमा सर्वस्वरूप रूपमा आफूलाई चाहिएको रोजगारी पाउन सकुन्।
किसान कार्ड र सिँचाइको र कृषि मिटर फ्री गर्ने यसप्रति विशेष ध्यान आकर्षण गराउन चाहन्छु।
देशमा अहिले किसानहरूले रासायनिक मल पाइरहेको अवस्था छैन। किसानहरूलाई सर्वसुलभ तरिका चाहिँ मल उपलब्ध गराउनु पर्छ।
जनताको काम निकास विकासका लागि छिटो गर्नु पर्यो। मन्त्रीमण्डल 3 महिना भइसक्यो, छिटै विस्तार गरिकिन
हामी कृषि गर्ने कृषकहरूको लागि आगामी दिनहरुमा राम्रो चाहिँ काम गर्नुहुनेछ, सुनौलो दिनहरु ल्याउने हुनेछ।
आफूले 10 वर्ष जुन जनयुद्ध सञ्चालन गरे त्यो जनयुद्धको घाउलाई सम्झेर अगाडि जाँदा राम्रै होला।
आफ्ना छिमेकी मित्र राष्ट्रहरूसँग सुमधुर सम्बन्ध कायम गर्दै विकास अगाडि बढाउनु पर्यो।
अब वहाँ गएर कुर्सीमा बस्ने मात्रै होइन, हाम्रो समस्या बुझिदिनु पर्यो, हामीलाई अब राम्रो केही विकास गरिदिन पर्यो।
नेता मात्रै होइन, राजनेताको हैसियतमा उहाँले आफ्नो परफर्मेन्स देखाउने बेला भयो।
बाल विकास शिक्षकहरूलाई चाहिँ 17,000 रुपैयाँ चाहिँ तलब तोकेको थियो, त्यो तर हाम्रो स्थानीय सरकारले चाहिँ हामीले अहिलेसम्म उपलब्ध गराएको छैन। त्यो छिटोभन्दा छिटो चाहिँ उहाँहरूले कार्यान्वयन गर्नु पर्यो।
समयमै आफ्नो जिम्मेवारी पुरा गर्नु पर्यो, आफ्नो काम गर्नु पर्यो, आलटाल गर्नु परेन, किनभने समय सापेक्ष सबैको लागि फिर्ता हुने समय के भन्छ फिर्ता हुन सक्दैन।
मन्त्रीमण्डल विस्तार भइसकेपछि जनताको काम हुनु पर्यो। झन्डै 3 महिना भइसक्यो, अहिलेसम्म केही काम पनि भएको देखिएको छैन।
Welcome back. Nepal's export was 59.43 billion rupees, while import was 213 billion rupees some 15 years ago. As the government has failed to come up with concrete plans, the trade deficit has been going up. The country's export is still limited to around 200 billion rupees. However, import has crossed 1.9 trillion. Export of garments and carpets was the main source of earning foreign currency during the decade from 1993 to 2003. 80% of the total export during that period was from the garment and carpet industries. However, Nepali carpets lost European markets due to reports that Nepal's carpet industries use child labor in manufacturing the carpets. On top of that, the armed insurgency and load shedding caused the garment and carpet industries to collapse. The export of garment and carpets dropped to 12% of the total exports of the country 4 years ago. The Nepali garment industry is worth around 60 billion rupees. However, the country only exports garments worth 7 billion annually. Bangladesh, which started the garment industry in 1995, learning from Nepal, now exports garments worth more than 37 billion US. Nepal has failed to increase exports despite receiving zero tariff treatment from neighboring countries for being in the list of least developed nations. Although the government had made an arrangement of cash grants 12 years ago, it has failed to increase exports. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we'd asked you what's your take on the government's preparations to embrace health science academies under a single act. 55% voted for option A, legal uniformity, 27% for B, curbing expenses, and 18% for C, centralized mindset. Here's today's question. What should be done to raise export of products made in Nepal? Your options are A, investment-friendly policy, B, raise domestic production, and C, prioritize commercialization. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for the international update. Chinese President Xi Jinping met Vladimir Putin in Moscow this evening, seeking both to deepen economic ties with an ally he sees as a useful counterweight to the West and to promote Beijing's role as a potential peacemaker in Ukraine. Xi was the first leader to meet the Russian president since the International Criminal Court (ICC) issued an arrest warrant for him on Friday over the deportation of Ukrainian children to Russia during its year-old invasion of Ukraine. Moscow has said the charge was one of several clearly hostile displays and opened a criminal case against the ICC prosecutor and judges. Beijing said the warrant reflected double standards. Russia is presenting Xi's trip, his first since securing an unprecedented third term this month, as evidence that it has a powerful friend in its standoff with the hostile West. The two leaders greeted one another as dear friend when they met in the Kremlin before a dinner to be followed by formal talks tomorrow. Putin told Xi he viewed China's proposals for a resolution of the Ukraine conflict with respect and was also slightly envious of China's rapid development in recent decades. Putin said China has created a very effective system for developing the economy and strengthening the state, much more effective than in many other countries. China has released a broad 12-point proposal to solve the Ukraine crisis while strengthening relations with Moscow. Beijing has repeatedly dismissed Western accusations that it is planning to arm Russia, but says it wants a closer energy partnership after boosting imports of Russian coal, gas and oil. Western sanctions made Russian energy cheaper, saving China billions of dollars, but its top trade partners remain the US and European Union. Time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
A-Division club Machindra thumped India's Kanchenjunga club 5-2 to reach the semi-finals of Itahadi Gold Cup, with Afiz Olawale scoring 4 goals in the win. In the match played at Itahadi Stadium today, Machindra club came from behind to register the win. Anish Rai opened the scoring for Kanchenjunga in the 15th minute. Olawale found the net in the 39th minute for Machindra club to level the match at 1-1. Machindra added 4 more goals in the second half. Olawale scored again in the 61st minute and Vijay Bhujel found the net 3 minutes later to extend Machindra's lead to 3-1. Olawale completed his hat-trick in the 66th minute and scored his personal 4th goal of the match in the 80th minute to give Machindra a commanding 5-1 lead. Anish Rai scored his 2nd goal of the match in the injury time to cut the deficit to 5-2. Olawale was adjudged the player of the match. Machindra will now face defending champion Sagarmatha club Morang in the semi-final. Tomorrow's match features a clash between Trivan Army Club and Rolling Club Jhapa. Friends Club has advanced into the semi-finals of the 22nd edition of Tilotama Gold Cup, edging past Armed Police Force 2-1. In the match played at the ENFA Technical Center in Devnagar, Butwal today, the first half ended in a goalless draw. Dona Thapa and Rafiq Aminu scored goals in the second half to give Friends Club a 2-0 lead. APF's Birendra Yadav scored a goal in injury time but could not prevent the team's defeat. Friends Club will now clash in the semi-final against the winner of the match between Manang Marshangdi and Nepal Police Club. All preparations for the Prime Minister Three Nations Cup have been completed. The All Nepal Football Association is to provide a cash prize of $5,000 to the winners of the tournament. Organizing a press conference today, the National Football Governing Body, NFA, said that all preparations for the Three Nations Cup involving Laos and Bhutan alongside host Nepal have been completed. The tournament will begin on 22nd of March and conclude on the 31st of March. The winners of the tournament will receive $5,000 while the runners-up will walk away with $3,000. The player of the tournament will bag a cash purse of $500 while the player of each match will receive $250. Cash rewards for the tournament will be funded by the National Sports Council. According to the association, the cost of organizing the tournament is more than 17.7 million rupees. Meanwhile, ticket price for the tournament has also been set by NFA, based on which VIP tickets will cost 1,000 rupees, while tickets for the normal parapet will be available at 500 rupees. Host Nepal play Laos in the inaugural match on Wednesday, 22nd of March. Bhutan play Laos 3 days later on Saturday, 25th of March, while Nepal take on Bhutan on Tuesday, 28th of the month. The tournament final between the top two sides is slated for Friday, 31st of March. All matches are to be played at the Dasrat Stadium. Teams of Laos and Bhutan have already arrived in Nepal for the tournament. However, host Nepal are yet to announce their team for the tournament. Up next is the weather update. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.